It's the DORK podcast. It's the DORK podcast. It's Rich Keefe. It's the DORK podcast. Hashtag. It's the hashtag DORK podcast.
Oh, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Dork. My name is Rich Keefe, joined as always by Davey Eyeballs. He is Razzle Von Dazzle. All hail the king of ginger ale. It's Ryan Davey. Davey, how are you?
I'm feeling good. Feeling a little older recently.
Happy
birthday this weekend.
Birthday yesterday. Now it's not the big birthday just
not
yet.
the big birthday. It's the one just before it. So
there.
We're approaching middle age as quickly as we can right now. Terminal velocity. So
you are on your way, sir.
Yep.
You are on your way, sir.
I certainly am.
Ryan, what did you think? The last two episodes we had were a little different, not your normal dork episodes. We ended up solving a murder mystery. Mm-hmm. What did you think overall?
I think it was a great start to thinking outside the box and innovating as to what this podcast could be.
True crime.
True crime.
We've always been angling towards true crime.
We've always been angling towards true crime. And that was actually super, super fun to get more people involved and do different things. And, we need our legal counsel in every time, but, my wife will be furious if she can hear me through the wall. But if we get rotate a fourth and it wants to,
rotate a fourth.
I'm just throwing it out there.
To say.
I know. And that's why I said it in hushed tones, because I didn't want that to get through the wall.
Smart. I think the way that we podcast, with this service and everything on YouTube and everything that we're doing, I think we could have up to 6 people on.
Excellent.
That could be a little chaotic, but I think we could do it. I thought it was fun. I knew it was going to be a lot of reading was the thing. I was like, we got to get this information across, because these games, and I hate to break the fourth wall, but it is a game. These games, they're designed for parties. So you'd be hanging out with a few people and you'd take turns reading it and sharing the information. So in order to get the information across to all of the listeners, I was like, there's nothing we can do other than read. And so the first 20 minutes, if you guys were able to hang on through the 20 minutes, hopefully it was enjoyable after that. I could understand though if you tuned in and you're like, you guys are just fucking reading pieces of paper here. I'm out. I kind of get it, because you got to be all in. You can't half listen to it, or I don't think you would enjoy it at all. You know what I'm saying? Some podcasts you can you're in, you're out, but with that one you needed to be kind of focused on it, right?
Yeah, and I just got the text message right now.
He's watching.
Dude, kicking me out of the true crime game week. So you can just guess how the rest of my evening's going to go tonight.
That was honestly a mistake on your part, because I thought I thought she brought a lot to the table. I personally would not ask her to leave.
I think it's jealousy that she brought more to the table than I did, which
could be. You don't like when people shine a light when somebody shines the light away from you.
Look, there's 2 Ryan Davies in the world, and I can't. And
you're the second best one.
I'm the second best one, and I struggle with that on a daily basis.
That has to hurt, as a pride thing, just knowing that you're not even the best Ryan Davey in your house, for fuck's sake.
Not even in my house. Yeah, not even in my house.
Forget the world. I'm sure there's a lot of Ryan Davies.
No, there's two that I know of. One was a All-American cross country runner at Stanford,
so he's better than you. Yeah, he's definitely.
And the other one is a professional fisherman, bass fisherman. Same spelling and everything. So.
The only other Rich Keefes I know are my father and my deceased grandfather.
Right, because you're a 3.
I'm a 3rd. Yeah.
Trey Keefe.
Come from a long line of dicks.
Yep.
But anyway, I thought it was fun. I would like to do it again. You can't do it all the time. And there's got to be another way. No. It was cool. It's tricky. And, because I liked all the engagement that we had with people that were in the chat. But there also is sort of, for me, a little bit of a concern if people look it up online.
Yeah, and I think...
Because I don't want that.
I don't want that at all. And I think how we combat that is we plan which one we're going to do. I'll order it. So I have all the documents in front of me too, and so do you. Mm-hmm. So that way, the reading, I've already read everything that within fair play. So for
yeah, but
you know what I mean?
You still need to be able to communicate it to the people listening, though. Is the
problem. Absolutely. But it'll be it'll be easier to. We're not learning as they're learning, so you know what I mean. So
I got you. So we're a little bit ahead.
We're just like a page ahead.
Okay, yeah,
so we can catch people up, and it'll be easier to like summarize some things. And
because I would like to use the honor system. I would like to, Scouts honor and all that nonsense. But I don't know if that's a real thing. I don't know if that's really
for me. But like I said, it opens up a door for us to do different things. Like I would love to do. We got to get our legal counsel in and see like if we could do like a table read of something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like do like an old timey radio show. We could fucking write one. And like I was saying on stream the other night, like what would be awesome is if we can have Goo on, and all Goo's job is to be like the narrator and like read stage direction.
Oh, that's not
and
bad.
Do that and do the Goo like, nah, and here we have our do like
he'd be pretty good at narrator voice. That's a good point.
And, like I'd just do like a radio.
I'd do a table read. I'd be happy to do a table read. I could write a bad movie if you want. I already wrote one. That's how I got into the movie game. I wrote a movie. And
then
nobody's ever gonna read it.
We can just go from there.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. I love the formula of our podcast. I think it's organic. It's nice. It has a shorthand to it, but like,
there's a long history of success.
Yeah. But like, why not shake it up? Once a month we shake it up.
Once a month, we do something different.
A little something.
Yep. I'm trying to think what else is popular on podcasting. I'm telling you, true crime's where it's at. True crime
is where it's at. Bear Brook.
People love that stuff. Holy smokes, they love that stuff.
People love it.
Ryan, before we get to the news of the week, I got to tell you something that happened to me here at my house.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned this on our Instagram. Another great reason. It's a nice follow. Instagram at DORK Podcast.
Sure is.
So I'm mowing the lawn, minding my own business, making that grass short, as you do just about once a week. We're getting,
as one does. Yeah.
The grass is growing pretty quick, which I think is a good sign, healthy grass. And next thing I know, I look over and we have one of those like outdoor, like little like AC / like the heat thing, like with the fan, like like the thing,
little HVAC system.
So, so I'm on the ride on. So I'm like behind, I'm like kind of near that. And then I look over and I thought I saw something move. And I go, I look over, squint again. Yep. Snake.
Goddamn snake.
And so we've lived here over 3 years, and I'm not naive to the fact that there would be snakes here, but I've never seen one. I've had like chipmunk, squirrels, fox, skunk, groundhogs, deer. I've had all kinds of shit in my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Not a snake. And this fucker was so coily and windy and slithery. And I was like, what do I do? What on earth? So I screamed because this is my biggest fear. There's
snakes.
There's not even like a close second. I don't even know what my second fear would be. My number one fear is snakes. What is your biggest fear, by the way? I feel
drowning.
Oh, that was a quick answer.
No, I know. I pinpointed it. It's like
that was real quick. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if we're ever on some sort of show, like how well do you know your podcast partner?
Yeah,
you would say drowning.
The only thing. So we used to watch Fear Factor all the time. The only thing that would stress me out. Remember, they used to have them like dive and then like go into like those little tunnels, and there was like little holes they could breathe, and they'd like find a key and like that's like my. Like I used to have like nightmares as a kid of like getting trapped under ice.
So that's a little different to me. Yeah. That's because you're also freezing to death on top.
But you drown. Like you drown. Like you.
I don't know if drowning's that's. I think I can think of a bunch of ways worse to die than drowning.
I'm not afraid of heights. I'm not afraid of any bugs or insects. I can tell you my snake. I have a snake story from the weekend that happened on Friday.
I bet you do.
I do. No, so. The back of my house is like woods, like it's just woods and trails and like all that stuff. So I have foxes, I have skunks, I have bears. Bears show up all the time in this part of
you got a real bear problem.
I have a ton of bears here.
The bear problem.
And I think it's worse because no one's going out, so they're like not afraid of anything.
Yeah, that's what they're saying too. Like in California now, like coyotes are like getting so like brave, and they're just getting closer and closer.
There's no people around.
There's there's no cars now that usually keep us out of the roads.
So my wife was going to throw trash away in the garage, and she opened the door, and there was a snake right on the side of the garage. Now, me being me, I have zero fear of snakes, like
How is
at
that
all.
Possible?
I don't know. I just don't. I like bugs. I have no problem with bugs. I have
no
problem
with snakes. I don't know how you can you don't trust him, do you?
So here's what happens. So she's like, you got to get rid of it because she, like you, does not like creepy crawly things. She hates it. And in her mind, she was like, this snake is like 3 feet long. It was a little garden snake. It was like this big.
No, she's probably right. Fangs
like
on him.
So
around your leg.
So I grab it. You grab it by the head. That's how you do. So it can't
I'm not
bite
grabbing a snake, dude.
So I grabbed it.
You grabbed it?
I grabbed it. Yeah, and it wrapped itself around my wrist, but I had it by the head, so it wasn't going to hurt me, right?
Ah.
And then the unexpected happened, Richard. 2 unexpected things happened. One,
another you shit your pants.
No. Lost all control of my bowels. No,
didn't see it coming. Defecated on the floor.
The snake peed on me. Peed in my hand.
They don't pee, do they?
Oh, they do. And snake pee stinks, so it stunk.
He stunk up
the whole garage.
He put his stank on you.
Yep. And then, so I went and I put it out.
Snake wrapped around your hand?
I had it by the head like this, pinching it, and then it was wrapped around my wrist. And then, so I went and I put it in the garden. And then, the next unexpected thing happened, Richard. My daughters, 5 and 3, crying. In tears. Let me tell you why.
Unexpected twist.
Because they didn't get to hold the snake. They were pissed at me because I didn't let them hold the snake.
You have raised a couple of daredevils without fear.
My daughter
want to hold the snake.
Yeah, she wanted. No. She catches. My older daughter catches toads, and she loves catching things. And
good with toads. I got no problem with toads.
She was pissed at me that I didn't let her hold the snake.
Snakes are horrifying. There's nothing not horrifying about a snake. So
they feel. You can feel all the muscles and stuff underneath them. Like that.
I have never held or touched a fucking snake, and I'm never going to.
I'm not afraid of it. I'm just not. But I have weird fears of my fears are emotional fear. Yeah, like failure. Like fear of failure.
Loved.
Yeah.
Ryan, you are loved. Don't you ever forget that you are loved. But these snakes, Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry that happened to you though. But if I was there, I would have grabbed it for you.
I would have loved that. And then I'm like, I'm gonna get my sword.
You fucking right. Why wouldn't you get the sword?
But then I'm thinking, I gotta face him, and I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could. I can't see him. I can't even look at him. I get I literally get the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it.
Get the willies, yeah.
I don't even know why that is. It's not like I had this traumatic snake story growing up or anything. No. I could not be more scared. I don't even know what like I said, I don't even have a second thing. Like clowns, I guess. Probably clowns. But
clowns don't scare me. They just weird me out.
Well, yeah.
I know there's a fine line there.
Okay.
But
all right. You're not scared.
I'm not scared of if that thing that happened 4 years ago where clowns just started showing up.
Yeah.
If someone came up to me in a clown suit, I just would have punched him in the big red nose.
No, that's true.
And be like, dude, fuck off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, snakes scare me more than clowns. What about a Dracula? You scared of Draculas?
If a Dracula, you just turn around and trip the bitch. It's hard it's easy to deal with a Dracula,
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Anyway, so that's
sorry that happened to you. I would have helped you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm thinking about buying a mongoose. Just keep them on the property.
Mm-hmm.
He'll take care of that problem, I think.
Yeah.
Now, here's the deal. My backyard is fenced. Do you think the mongoose would stay in the parameters?
No, I think he would. Once he got a taste for blood, he's out. He would
take off. Mm-hmm. There wouldn't be enough snake kills to sustain him here. You think?
Well, I think what you got to do the next time is you got to kill it and then leave it in the yard.
Oh, I would definitely
send a message.
I would pin it on a tree, right through the skull.
I'd be like, "Do not come here." Yeah,
just having it's hanging down. My dog's barking at it. It'd be a whole thing.
Yeah,
because that over by that AC unit, my dog was freaking out one day, and I thought it was I thought it was a chipmunk because I thought I saw a chipmunk running over there. I think he knew it was over there, and he was trying to save me.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. Ryan, ready for the news of the week?
Yeah, let's get to it.
All right, let's start out with this. We came up with the 30-day #DORK challenge. So you've seen those challenges. I saw you do the music one, so I followed suit on Instagram. So they're fun to do on Instagram or Twitter. And so basically we've mapped out 30 days. You can go to either one of ours, Instagram or Twitter, scroll back a little bit, and you'll find a 30-day post. It's fun to play along. Play with your friends. And it's just stupid stuff like, what's the last movie you saw in the theater? What's the scariest movie you've seen? What video games you play the most? It's just all dork related content. So you circle the day, you say what your thing is. You're not hurting anybody. And it's promoting the podcast loosely, I think.
Yeah, and it's a good way to spread the word, and it's a fun game to play.
Spread the word.
What else are you doing? What else are you doing?
I was listening to Rogan this week, and Joe Rogan was talking with Bill Burr, and Rogan's like, "Here's the thing about podcasts," and Rogan's the king of podcasts now. How do they get popular? Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Just keep.
So if you're listening to this, put our name in your mouth.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Tell a dork. We've already free
entertainment.
We're not charging you a goddamn thing.
No, not a penny. Not a blood nickel.
Blood nickels aside. Hey, Ryan, how about this? I feel like we were way ahead of the game on this. San Diego Comic-Con this year is going to be the at-home virtual program. So we have always been covering San Diego Comic-Con from New England, and that's exactly what we're going to do again this year. Starting on July 22nd, they're going to make all of the stuff. Now, I'm sure it's not going to be as vast as it normally has been.
No.
But they're going to take all kinds of stuff, some of these panels, some of these like previews, some of these other things, and put them online. And so anybody can sort of jump in there and watch it. So I think that's a cool idea. Yeah. And unfortunately, I feel like people who love going to these conventions, don't you feel like this could sort of become the new thing?
Yeah, I know. I don't want to say like the new normal because that's lame. But like this could be
we're living in it now, Ryan.
No, this could be the new thing. And the people I feel worse are like the small vendors who like go to these trade shows all the time and get, like you said, word of mouth. Like, and that sucks for them that this is all because they're gonna, like you said, they're gonna whittle it down and it's gonna be all like Marvel's gonna have their thing and DC's gonna have their thing and Star Wars is gonna have their thing. So it's gonna be like just the headers and I think the best part of going to these things is the walk around and meeting people and handing stuff, just talking to people, product and what they do.
Yeah.
But obviously, we're going to get a lot of cool movie trailers. And you said we were ahead of the curve the whole time, so
we're doing this. This is the way to go.
And we don't have to be the bad boys of we can sit at home and not get in trouble anymore.
Can't get kicked out of your house. I don't think. Well, how about this? I take it back. I think you can. It's called being evicted.
How about this? Remember we made that video. We became the bad boys of Comic-Con because we got basically a cease and desist letter for me making a YouTube video. We did all our footage from the Comic-Con in Connecticut. Yeah. And I said, everything's better with Run the Jewels on it, right?
Yes.
You put a Run the Jewels song on anything and it makes it instantly better. So I put all our footage and it was a song that wasn't that violent and it didn't, there was some swearing, but it wasn't
it did talk about a lot of weapons.
Yeah. AKs. So anyway, we get this letter basically telling us that we can't do that because they're even though they allow weapons into the goddamn thing, they're like, we don't promote weapons and violence and all.
It's confusing.
But then, so I was watching TV the other day. I saw in one set of commercials in a show, 2 commercials out of the 4 had Run the Jewels songs on them.
Run the Jewels is the best.
There was a Cadillac commercial and something else.
What do you think of their new the new album?
It's good.
4.
It's good.
I like it. I like I love the first. I think there's only 10 tracks, right?
Yeah.
The first
they
2
did it pretty quickly.
The first 2 start out awesome. They're really good. It's hard to compare it to the other 2 or the other 3, I should say, because normally when I listen to the other 3, it's all jumbled up. So in my mind, I'm not even sure which is from which CD or album. Yeah. But anyway, it's good and it's crazy they put it up for free.
Yeah, awesome. Those fucking guys are awesome.
Yeah, they are pretty great.
Yeah.
Speaking of free on YouTube this week, and I think this is going to be a part of a bigger Netflix special, but very, very, very topical. There was a Dave Chappelle special called 8 minutes and 46 seconds or 8:46. The special itself or what they released was over 20 something minutes, 27 minutes long. And it's Chappelle at this outdoor venue in his hometown, I believe, of Dayton or where he lives in Dayton. Right. And it's kind of interesting because it's one of the first things that we have seen where there's a live audience where they're wearing masks and they're all spaced out. And it's definitely more topical than it is funny, but it's very powerful listening to Dave Chappelle talk about what happened to George Floyd and what has happened sort of since then.
It's pretty raw too. And you could tell someone just brought one camera that was hooked up to his mic and that was it. And it's not professionally done. I'm sure the day of, he was just just film it. Just I'm going to do this and just record it. And It's a little like park. He's in a park in his hometown, just going in on everything. And it's raw and it's not funny. I mean, there's fun. He says funny things,
like
but
he's funny. So yeah, he has like a couple things, especially in between. And he even mentioned at one point, he's like, well, this isn't very funny. He's like, don't worry, I got pussy jokes. And he's like,
yeah,
but it's one of those things where, and we're not the only people to ever mention this idea, but in like where we live, like how we're living now, it's very difficult, I think, for a lot of people to say exactly what's on their mind, just because like the fear of either losing your job or the fear of like being canceled or like whatever it is now. But like stand-up comedians, particularly smart stand-up comedians, they're the ones that can sort of tell you what's going on. And I feel like you'll end up agreeing more with like a Dave Chappelle or a Bill Burr than almost anybody else, because they're just up there saying, they're like one of the few people that can still publicly say exactly what's on their mind.
Yeah. And so I recently too, that Judd Apatow or someone starting, Judd Apatow starting, he did the Garry Shandling documentary. He's doing on Carlin.
Okay.
And if you listen to, and I think that's the guy who you just would go up there and his material was whatever was going on. It was topical.
Yeah,
it had
pretty good.
And some of it's like prophetic. If you listen to it now, he was like, oh shit, he was right. And so like comedy has, like you said, it has that ability to kind of be topical, but also like say things that we can't say.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is great.
No, it's amazing. And like I think podcasters, certainly some podcasters can, like Joe Rogan can, but like there are some that also work. Well, he works for himself.
Absolutely. And I listened to a little bit of the podcast with him and Bill Burr. And
it's good.
When Burr was like, we're not doing this shit. Like you're smoking a cigar, you get an American flag behind you. Like, I know who you are. Like, don't tell me more than a doctor. Like,
well, it's so good. He's like, I have no medical degree. You have no medical degree, and we're gonna sit here and like call out the CDC, and like that's what's been happening for a while. So, Ryan, that's the news I got, because the really important news this week, and not that it's not always important when it becomes time for your thing, but it is definitely the news that was made by Sony earlier this week. Let's get to it.
It's time for Davey's video game minute, even if it takes more than a minute.
All right, Ryan, what do you have?
What do I have this week, Richard? It has been a long time coming. I feel like I've wanted to say these words for so long, and I am not talking about the PlayStation 5. What I'm going to tell you now is that this portion of the program is brought to you today by Wild Bill's Soda.
Come on.
Thank you very much. WildBillsSoda.com. Please go to Wild Bill's Old Fashioned Soda Pop and go and get some awesome soda. They sent me a little package of root beer and vanilla cream soda, and it is the best shit you will ever drink in your life. We have some really cool videos, some stuff coming out in partnership with Wild Bill Soda. So go to wildbillsoda.com, use the promo code RVOND, and you get yourself a little bit of a discount on Wild Bill Soda.
Oh my God, that is great news. Ryan, let me say this too. Thanks to all the listeners, because this all happened. So again, Davey frequented Wild Bill Soda when we were at Comic-Con, aforementioned Comic-Cons. He was there.
Excuse me, hang on. Hang on.
Yeah, as he's drinking.
That's me drinking out of my Wild Bill's mug. Yeah.
He drank them dry. He drank so much of the goddamn Wild Bills. But so randomly, Wild Bills tweets out, like, anybody want to be a sponsor? And thanks to the hashtag DORK listener who was like, the only reason I've heard of this place is because of Davey. So, like, it better be Arvondi. It better be Arvondi. Like, no, like, just bombarded with it. And they couldn't say no. And so now we are.
So they didn't see anything for a couple days. And you, thanks to you, you were like, I'm going PAX East on these guys.
If they
don't respond to you, you're like, I don't want to. But I said, give me the week. And the next day, I heard from Juliana and Wild Bill. So we'll get to the PlayStation stuff now, I promise. But that felt really good to say, and I'm going to keep saying it. So go to wildbillsoda.com, use the code RVOND, get yourself a little discount on some very good soda It just came out with Diet Root Beer. And join the Discord. Boom. All right. We're getting on to the PlayStation 5 reveal.
Yeah.
And it was, so people knew that this was there. What a sexy looking machine that is.
Yeah, so we got it up on the YouTube here again. Every Monday night we're streaming on YouTube, at least for the next few months. Once sports comes back, maybe we'll adjust. But every Monday night we are streaming on youtube.com/dork podcast. And we've had this technology the whole time, Ryan, but I've just neglected to use it.
Yeah, we're just
it's a screen share. So obviously it's an audio podcast. But if you're in here with us, you're looking at the design of the new PlayStation 5. And holy smokes.
And if you're and so this, they didn't show it right away. And what they showed was basically a ton of games which are coming out, which have already been announced exclusively for this console. And the games look great. Like the good games that you were going to see looked amazing. There were some surprises in there, things that we didn't know, just titles that we hadn't heard of before. And it was a really good, really informative show. But the real star of the show, like Richard, they had this reveal at the end, in the controller, but then they open up the console and you see the console, and it looks like an Audi, a high-end sports car. Like, it looks awesome. And it can lay flat. You see it obviously with the stand up. They have the controllers are starting to look more like an Xbox controller a little bit, and people are giving them a hard time.
Kind of a hybrid, isn't it? It's like a PlayStation
kind of a hybrid
meets Xbox. I think I could work with this.
Hopefully it has a little bit, but it has haptic feedback. So like the vibration is going to happen like all over.
Okay.
If that makes sense. It's not just going to be like you know what I mean? So there's going to be vibration that's going to happen like it could be directional.
Ooh, I like that.
So that could be really cool. There's no paddles underneath the control, which I'm sure there's going to be a pro version down, or Scuff's going to make one, or someone's going to make one that's going to be good. But the beauty of this is they give you now two options at least, right? So what we're looking at now is you have your standard PlayStation version with the 4K HDR Blu-ray disc slot, so you can play all of those like Blu-ray 4K DVDs. But then they have this digital version which doesn't have the DVD player in it. So people have been going back and forth because the one thing that is still missing from all of this information is a price point yet. So people don't know how much this costs.
What's it going to cost? What do you think?
So $500,
$499.99,
like $495, $499. So people were saying that like, oh, the digital only package is going to be less than the Blu-ray because it's equipment. And I said on Mac and Goo, this in my stream. What would make sense is that if you keep them the same price, but the digital only gets more storage. So instead of being like one terabyte,
you would want a shitload of storage for that. If you're digital only, yeah.
And I would pay an extra $50. So say like the Blu-ray one's $490, and the $449. I would pay an extra $50 for a terabyte of storage.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me too. I mean, you can just keep so many games locked in. You don't have to delete stuff. I'm curious I'm curious on the price point for sure. Mm-hmm. My other two big questions about PlayStation 5, because I think I said a while ago, like they had announced, holiday 2020 it's going to be out. Yep. And I said, kind of like what I've done with the other consoles, is I've waited a little bit because there's been like recalls, or maybe the price point comes down a little bit or something. And I've sort of waited in the past.
Yes.
Two things would have maybe gotten me to get it right away. One would have been Grand Theft Auto 6, which we got nothing on. That's crickets.
Nothing on that. Yep.
And then can you explain what happened with the Miles Morales Spider-Man? Because I saw what looked like a preview for it and it looked amazing. And then IGN said, nope, that's actually just sort of like going to be an addition from the first game. But then Insomniac Games was tweeting out, it was like, no, it's a standalone, and we'll have info later. So I'm like, what was that we saw?
Okay. So let me backtrack a little bit. So you said there's nothing from Grand Theft Auto 6. But Rockstar as a olive branch, as a mea culpa, which is my bad in Latin.
I got it. Yeah.
They said at launch if you buy a PlayStation 5, they are going to give you the complete version of Grand Theft Auto 5 for free. So everybody gets that. So which is great because it's completely remastered.
I'll play it again.
No, but it's all remastered. And you get all the expansions, like everything.
Right.
So like
that sounds
everything,
right.
And you get like $1 million worth of Shark Bucks. So if you get $1 million to start,
I'm a millionaire.
Which is awesome. Yeah.
All right.
So nothing but okay. So here's the sequence of events. You see the trailer for Spider-Man Morales, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh my, Miles Morales!" And it's Insomniac's making it just PlayStation 5. This is going to be awesome. Then somebody from Sony said that it was an addition to Spider-Man, like kind of like you said, like one of like the side stories from. It's not a full game.
Because weren't they going to remaster that?
They're going to remaster Spider-Man, and Miles Morales was going to be part of it. And then Insomniac came out and said, "No, it's not a side mission. It's not like a little down. It's not like
it looked like a DLC
thing.
almost because the game was so similar. It was, but with the addition of Miles."
And they said it's not that. It's a standalone game. It's not as long. It's like a AA game. It's not as long as a full length Spider-Man game.
Okay,
but it's its own self-contained story and self-contained thing. It's a full game. It's just not going to be as long. So it's going to be like 20 hours as opposed to like 50 or 60, I'm guessing. So the thing if you played the Uncharted series, there was an Uncharted spin-off that wasn't totally a full game, but it was its own thing.
Because I thought, like, when I first saw it, and if I was like, if this is a full game, I'm like, shit, I got to rethink. I'm like, I can't wait to play that. Like, I love Spider-Man so much that I'm like, now here I am. I'm going to be opening day buying PlayStation 5. But then now, like, I don't know. I don't know if I am. Are you now? Well, have you changed your? Have you decided what you're going to do yet?
I'm all in. I'm going to pre-order it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
we gotta get
I'm
like a
digital only
sponsorship here or something.
I'm a digital only guy, so I don't hard copies of games anymore. I like to be able to preload things. So like when the day they released, I'm actually Last of Us 2 is now pre.
Okay.
By the way, we're still in the video game minute. 44 perfect reviews for this game. 10 out of 10.
I've never seen anything like that. I thought it was fake at first because even like the really good games get like 9.2. You know what I mean? And like these were 10 out of 10s and 5 out of 5s across the board.
And like nothing, like even God of War, which is one of like the most fun games, was like an 88 or like an 86 on Metacritic. This is like a 94. I've never seen anything in the 90s. Other than it's very rare that anything's above 90 on Metacritic.
I can't wait.
And I can't wait. So this is, but it's already downloaded on my hard drive. It just it's time. I just have to. I don't. So that's why I like the digital. But
yeah, I gotcha.
But yeah, so Miles, it's going to be its own game. I think it's just not going to be like long.
Okay.
But,
I'll get that.
And the thing with these games is like you're going to replay it because they're going to come out with different. They're going to come out with, you know what I mean? So like different abilities. Like I'm all in on this. And from what I'm told, the PlayStation 5 is completely backwards compatible with over 4 titles that are it's backwards compatible with.
So could I, like, we've asked this before, but could I play Tekken 3 on this?
Yeah. So if you bought the one with the slot with the slot, if you have the game itself,
I don't have the fucking game anymore. Could I get the game though? You think on?
So like on PlayStation Now, like that service, you could, but like you could find a copy. You could find a PlayStation 2 of like Tekken tag somewhere for like $5.
No, Tekken 3, I think was PS1.
So yeah, so they're going.
Maybe I have it somewhere. Or like Twisted Metal 2.
You have Tekken 4.
Yeah, I mean, I have 6 now. I think somewhere. But anyway, all right. Well, that's interesting. Are you got anything else on this?
No. Okay. This is there's done polls with stuff where people are like, "What are you going to buy?" And no one's buying the Xbox.
No, come on.
No one's buying that. You got to buy the PlayStation.
I wouldn't even piss on the Xbox.
Oh, woo! You wouldn't stinky snake pee on the Xbox.
So this because I've heard that. No, this is what happened. I was always a PlayStation lover. I was always in love with PlayStation. I toured love with PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, but then the goddamn PlayStation 2, which I loved to pieces, broke on me so many times.
Yep.
It broke my heart. And then I bought an Xbox 360.
Yeah.
But I wasn't committed to it. I wasn't, but I played the shit out of it, and I learned how to play Gears of War and games like that. But then the PS4 comes along, and I'm like, that's me.
Yeah,
and
so
the
the
PS5, that's going to be me again.
For the 360, I will give it this. Their online service and their online play was light years ahead of PlayStation 3's.
Yeah, it was fun, and I kind of stumbled into that, and it was like me and my cousin and like a bunch of his friends.
I was talking about this on stream the other night. You were fucking unbelievable at Gears of War.
Yeah, we played it all the time. Like that was sort of I better be like the amount of time I spent on it. But Gears 1 and like what I liked about Gears even more than like Overwatch was Gears 1, 2, and 3 gave you such a cool one-player mode. So you would learn the controls, the and all that shit, and like you could master it by beating the game, and then you take that and then throw it into multiplayer, and it was super fun. Now, Overwatch is a better game because it has like the different skill sets and the different characters, but Gears is a fucking blast. But it's not good enough just to buy an Xbox. There's too many good PlayStation things for sure. All right, Ryan, what do you say? Are you ready for the topic du jour?
Wildbills.com.
I'm glad you asked. It's the topic of the day, and it's a summer preview, Ryan, because here we are, balls deep in June, middle of June, and we are going to let you guys know what is actually coming out this June, July, and August. A lot of stuff was planned. A lot of stuff has been moved around a little bit here, but we'll get movies, video games, TV shows, and we even have a comic book series that's coming out this month. So, let's start with movies, Ryan. 2 movies that are available right now, one on Netflix and one on streaming, both from this past weekend. Netflix, the new Spike Lee joint, The Five Bloods. And then available on video on demand right now is Pete Davidson's movie, The King of Staten Island. I have not seen that one yet. I did watch The Five Bloods. I didn't think it was great.
I need to talk about Five Bloods. I'm going to wait till the end of the show.
The end of the show. Okay, just in case there's spoilers, people want to watch it. All right, we'll do a spoiler portion of the Five.
No, I need it. I mean,
huh? What?
It's a section at the end of the show. I'm going to make it that. That's all I'm going to say about the Five Bloods right now.
Available on Netflix.
King
of Staten Island. I've heard good reviews. I don't want to spend $20 on it, but I have heard it's good.
I have heard it's decent, and it kind of
Bill Burr's in it. I do like
Bill Burr's in it, and I heard he's great, and I heard Marissa Tomei is great.
Of course.
It'd be what it do.
Have you seen the preview, Ryan, for Eurovision Song Contest, the story of Fire Saga, a Will Ferrell movie coming to Netflix on June 26th?
Did you not feel like this was the longest trailer you've ever seen for a movie?
It was over 3 minutes. Like, what is that?
What is that?
What is a 3.5 hour? What is a 3.5 minute trailer? That's not a trailer. That's like a featurette that they do for movies.
I know. And it was like, after the first 30 seconds, I was like, I get it. You know, like, you don't have to, like.
So we talked about, why did he come up on the air the other day on the radio show? We talked about Will Ferrell, I think. And it's like.
Yeah, you were talking about, like.
Because we were doing the other guys. So for the Dale and Keefe Movie Club, it was the other guys. And, like, I love Will Ferrell. I love Vince Vaughn. But I guess there kind of comes a point where movie-wise, that's just it. Don't you think it's just kind of it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
No, it's it. And I think he does, like, he's a goof, but like he's a little too old to be that goofy now. You know, I think it's
he had a hell of a run. I mean, we did an episode. Find it in the archives. We did Will Ferrell movies, and it's like the guy's top 5, top 10 is fantastic, especially when you throw in like cameos like Zoolander, and that's not even a cameo, that's just a good role, but like Wedding Crashers, like he's had an unbelievable career. But I'm like, that Sherlock movie was such a dud, and he's in more
Casa de Mi Padre was fucking weird.
Like, what are we doing?
Like, and then
I don't know, but like, I'm not telling him that he shouldn't do comedies anymore. Like, do whatever you can, but it's just, it ain't it right now.
And you know what the thing was, is he was so successful. Like, those guys were so successful that, like, nobody could say no. From like not that like they got big heads or whatever, but like you think like all I had to do in the late 90s, early 2000s would be walk into a room of studio executives and say, Will Ferrell Christmas movie. And they would have been like, done.
That's what they did for like, Talladega Nights.
Yeah, they're like, Will Ferrell, NASCAR. Boom.
Movies made, and it was good.
And but then now it's like Will Ferrell figure skating.
Another movie
with Napoleon Dynamite. Bang. Like you don't have to work for it. So like
that might have been in the beginning.
Maybe they should have been a little bit more.
Yeah. No, I mean I thought he hit it, like he capitalized on it though. Like he maximized it. So I'll watch this movie, but I have low expectations.
Oh, this is and Rachel McAdams is in it, and I will watch anything she's into.
Yeah,
so
she's good. Good actress.
She's great.
Mulan is scheduled for July 24th. There's swords in that movie, so
swords and death. It's up
my alley.
It's almost. They were talking about it being PG-13, which is be a departure from Disney.
So, would your daughters have any interest in this?
We haven't got them to watch the animated one yet. Not yet.
Yeah,
they're on such a cartoon kick that like they don't watch anything with unless it's Muppets or cartoons. They won't watch it.
They like Muppets though.
They do like the Muppets, and they're into the Fraggles now. I did take 2 of the Fraggles. They're into the Fraggles now. Yeah,
good. No, that's good news. Yeah, so I love my wife dearly. Obviously, I wouldn't have married her if I didn't love her, Ryan. But she's not a big Muppets fan, which is insane to me. It's like one of the like every once in a while I'll just like scream in the middle of the night that like she doesn't like Muppets because I love the Muppets. I love the Muppets so dearly. They're like my family. I love the Muppets so much. We were a Muppet. We grew up Muppet family. Sesame Street, Fraggles, grew up on all of that.
And I remember watching like reruns of like the Muppet Show.
Yeah.
Like before I watched Sesame Street.
Oh, it's great. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you like when Steve Martin and Gilda Radner and all these Carol Burnett. But so thankfully my daughter loves Sesame Street. Loves it. Goes fucking bananas for it. So that's good news. So anyway, we got that going for us. So this is the most anticipated movie of 2020. It's not Captain Marvel, Ryan.
It's not.
It's Tenet. And Tenet was locked in for a long time with a July 17th premiere. They bumped it 2 weeks. So July 31st, still scheduled, is Tenet. I just hope it comes out. I don't know what the state of theaters are going to be like. I don't know how we're going to go and see this movie, but this is the one movie. Like all these other ones that we're going to mention, it's like if it comes out on demand, I'll watch it. I'm not going to the theater to watch Mulan. I'm not going to the theater to watch King of Staten Island or a couple of the other ones. But Tenet, you have to go to the theater to see.
I have to. Yeah. And in IMAX or like Dolby.
You have
Dolby
to see it in IMAX too. On top of it, you don't. Yeah, you might as well. That's what Christopher Nolan's been telling you to do it. Christopher Nolan's track record is as good as anybody's. I'm not saying that they're all winners or they're not all perfect, but they're all good. It's
you
like
know what I recently
of good and then up to like great.
I recently rewatched The Prestige.
I love The Prestige.
That movie is fucking awesome.
That movie's incredible.
It's awesome. Yeah.
So people give me shit because I don't like Inception. And I didn't love. Was it Interstellar? Was his
Interstellar? Yeah, it was like Inception and Interstellar.
I didn't love those two, but like Memento is one of my favorite movies. The Dark Knight and Batman Begins are two of my favorite movies. Dark Knight Rises, whatever. The Prestige is incredible.
It is.
I love the goddamn Prestige. And so I'm looking forward to Tenet, even though it looks pretty crazy, confusing.
Yeah.
Bill and Ted Face the Music, August 14th. There was a trailer. We tweeted it out and a poster. We tweeted out at DORK Podcast. I'm not a huge Bill and Ted guy. I know that's probably sacrilege for some, but it's not my
It's one of those things that's like we have to do a cult movie episode at some point because this is one of them. I thought it was really cool when I was a kid, and then I watched Bogus Journey was on something. Obviously, Excellent Adventure is way better, but Bogus Journey was on, and I'm like, this is crap. Yeah. But the band they beat in Battle of the Bands in that one is actually Primus, which is awesome. Primus does Tommy the Cat, which is like one of my favorite Primus songs.
Primus is good.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned cult movies. Do you think there would be an appetite amongst the hashtag dork listener for a episode just on the Ernest movies.
Oh my God. That would be that would be hilarious because I want to watch all those.
I want to watch
again,
them all
Vern.
again.
All right, let's do that.
Where are they available? Do we know the answer to that?
I can find it right now. They
gotta all be somewhere. It's actually
you can probably watch Ernest Goes to Camp on YouTube right now.
Ernest Goes to Camp. This was talk about me and Shark's wheelhouse. We watched every goddamn Ernest movie. All the time.
Ernest Goes to School, free with ads on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
So Amazon Prime might be your Ernest.
Dude, the Ernest movies were so good.
Did you remember? Oh, wait. So I got Ernest in the Army. Ernest Goes to Africa. Slam Dunk Ernest. Ernest Goes to School. Ernest Rides Again. Ernest Scared Stupid, which is one of the better ones.
I'll give you the order. This is the order that came out. I love these Ernest movies. Ernest Goes to Camp. Ernest Saves Christmas. Ernest Goes to Jail. Ernest Scared Stupid. Ernest Rides Again. Those apparently got theatrical releases.
Yeah.
Then the following were direct to video. Ernest Goes to School. Slam Dunk Ernest. Ernest Goes to Africa. Ernest in the Army.
I think we need to do just a singular episode on Ernest Goes to Africa. I'm in. If we're doing Ernest, but that would have been a great losers pod for the movie draft.
I love it.
Did you have to do an Ernest episode?
Pick of the pod, Jim Varney. Pick of the pod.
Who apparently was a great guy. Like he
how could he not be?
He I guess he smoked like a chimney.
Well,
and like he would never allow there was something about him smoking, like he would never allow anybody to see him smoking because he thought it was like a bad example for kids.
Well, he got lung cancer.
That's how he died. Yeah.
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 So anyway,
pick of the pod. Ernest episode.
It's such a forgotten. I know we've mentioned this on the podcast before, but it's one of those things that it was such a lost, like, people our age watched all those goddamn Ernest movies, and it's
I loved Ernest.
It's like he was like forgotten, like because like Adam Sandler and Jim Carrey and like Chris Farley, all these guys came out, and like those were like the real comedies, but like you forgot growing up just how funny Ernest was for so many people. So
who's Vern? And then like. And then someone explained to me, like, you're Vern. Like, everyone's Vern. Like, he's talking to you.
Vern's everybody.
He just uses the name, like, I'm Vern. We're all Vern.
2 other movies to get to here, Ryan. On August 22nd, or August 28th, The New Mutants.
Yeah.
For real, though. No, for real.
Right.
But for reals, though.
It's
going to be The New Mutants, which we've talked about The New Mutants. I'm looking forward to it. Whenever it comes out, it should just be on Disney Plus, but it's not. And how about this? This is for real. Wonder Woman 1984. How about this journey? It was scheduled to be released December of 2019. Then for some reason they bumped it up to November of 2019.
Right.
Then it got pushed to June of 2020. But then because of the coronavirus, it got pushed to August of 2020. And then they were like looking at it and they're like, nah. So now, October 2nd, 2020.
It's the new Gambit. The problem is this was shot.
This is a made film, though. Movie. This has actually happened. So Wonder Woman is coming out in October. Black Widow's coming out in November. So you'll get like the Marvel and DC female-led movies later on. I know it's not a summer movie. I'm just throwing it out there because it was supposed to be twice a summer movie, and it is not. So those are the movies. Out of all those ones, it's like Tenet and A Runaway.
Oh yeah, for the summer, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just Tenet. If New Mutants actually comes out, we'll do a standalone on that, but we're not holding our breath. So really, just Tenet.
Just Tenet. Just go see Tenet. If you're gonna get sick going to the movies, go see Tenet. Don't go see anything else.
Ryan, what do we have? I know the big one, but what do we have over the next 2.5 months for video games?
So I'm going to do this quickly because we're running out. I already talked a lot about video games, but this Friday, The Last of Us Part 2 comes out.
Can't wait.
Like we said, it's already 44 perfect scores across all media. Like this This game's going to be unbelievable. I can't wait to play it. I've seen, obviously, watching State of Play and watching the gameplay. It looks incredible. This is the game to play this month, obviously. But right in front of me right now, so I'm going to start from there and go kind of like into September.
Okay.
Just looking through the list right now. There's a SpongeBob game coming out. There's a game coming to Switch on June 25th called Poopty.
Poopty. Which
I will read the description right now. It looks like The Binding of Isaac. It looks like a Legend of Zelda game. But dungeon crawl with PewDiePie and Bulbware in Poopty. Mold and manage your own poops. Upgrade them with unique skills, fart ancient spells, defeat evil Samron and his army of butt creatures. This is coming to Switch June 25th. Little dungeon crawler.
I feel like South Park already probably did all this.
Oh, I'm sure they did. But you don't want to fart spells? Come on.
I mean, I like farts, but
there is Borderlands 3 DLC coming out. And that's it for June. Let's head to July. I got all my notes here in front of me. So big things coming out in July. We get a lot of stuff coming out. Ironman VR coming out for PlayStation 4. I've played the demo. I don't know if anybody else has. It was so fun and so intuitive and like just the exact way you should be using VR and the perfect character to do it. I mean, like I said, you have the PlayStation controllers and you're using the repulsor ray, but they're like, you feel the vibration in your hands. Like it's super, super cool. And then after that, Ghost of Tsushima, which is coming out July 17th, which is the next like PlayStation exclusive, big title PlayStation exclusive. Mario Origami is coming out 17th. They're doing new Samurai Showdowns for all consoles, which is a game I will be playing kind of off stream, but cool nonetheless. One to watch here. Skater XL, which is a game that's in early access right now. If you guys play it on Switch, it's just one level, but you can kind of get the mechanics. EA said they weren't going to make Skate 4. People were really pissed about it. So this company who did a mobile skateboard game just did a game called Skater XL. So it's like the emotional successor to Skate 3.
Okay.
Again, you can play it kind of in early access now. So the cool thing is with this game is there's no animations. So they only did movement, which means so like the left thumbstick is your left foot, your right thumbstick is your right foot.
Okay.
So when you control the skateboard that way with your feet. So there's a way you could possibly make tricks up.
All right. I like that.
Which is kind of cool. If it's in early access now if you want to get it, but that's going to be coming out the full game in July. And then as we move into August, we will get PGA Tour 2K21, which is something with everybody's like, we're all playing that game.
I'll play that.
We're all playing that.
That looks like a good time.
We'll get a foursome going, play some. There's a Fast and Furious game coming out. It looks ridiculous. I don't know who would play that game. Wasteland 3 will be coming out for it's actually coming out for Linux and all other systems. But I want to get into September because we have some really cool games coming out in September. We have The Avengers, which has been pushed back to September 4th. This is going to be a tough month for everybody.
Yeah.
Also on that day, the day The Avengers is being released, Tony Hawk's Pro Skaters 1 and 2 remastered.
Could not wait.
I'm just spending like $300 in video games this month.
Yes.
2 weeks after that, the 17th, Cyberpunk 2077 comes out. Keanu Reeves obviously is in it. It looks amazing. Definitely need to play that. And then that's what I got, man.
Pretty good. That's pretty good. TV shows. One, I haven't watched it yet. I think it's subtitles, which I know will turn some people off. Mm-hmm. It's on Netflix right now. It's called The Woods, and it is a Harlan Coben novel. I don't know if you guys watched The Stranger. It's on Netflix. It's very good. And the thing with a lot of these shows is it's like 6 or 8 episodes. No, it's not that, Ryan. It's not about jerking off with your hand.
It's not about sitting on your hand.
No, it's not about that. It's not. Or when me and Goo were talking about getting stung by a murder hornet, waiting for your arm to swell up twice the size and then jerking off. It's not about that at all. The Stranger's good though. Check out The Stranger. Like a lot of Harlan Coben stuff, it's a whodunit. So The Woods, this is the deal. The series is set in 1994 and 2019. It tells a story of the Warsaw prosecutor Paweł Kapinski. He cannot recover from the loss of his beloved sister many years ago, who went missing in unexplained circumstances during the summer camp. The unexpected discovery of a body whose death seems to be linked to the disappearance of the girl may finally lead to a breakthrough in the investigation. It's only 6 episodes. I haven't started it. I'm gonna give it a shot. That's on Netflix.
That sounds good.
June 21st, Yellowstone season 3 on the Paramount Network. I haven't dipped in yet, but I've heard it's a good show.
Yeah, that was one of those shows. It was on a channel I didn't get.
Paramount Network.
Yeah, the Paramount. I didn't have that channel, so I never watched it. People who did watch it said it was awesome. I can't believe it's in season 3 already.
I think Paramount. So remember, it was like TNN, and then it was Spike TV, and then Spike TV, I believe, turned into Paramount Network.
Okay, and then, I lost it somehow.
Yeah, because then it jumped onto a different package or whatever.
Yeah.
Doom Patrol season 2 is coming to HBO Max on June 25th.
So now that I have HBO Max, because they got rid of HBO Go. So now it's just HBO Max, and they just let you do it for free, which is cool.
Are you going to keep HBO Max after the fact?
I am.
It's $15 a month.
So I was paying for HBO Now anyway.
Okay.
So it just parlayed into that. But now, like you said, I can watch all these DC shows. So I'm actually going to watch Doom Patrol and try to get
check that out.
And it got good reviews, right? People liked it.
I think Doom Patrol's good. I haven't seen it either. That could be good. Also on June 25th is season 2 of The Twilight Zone. But this is on the CBS All Access, and what's confusing to me,
how many fucking things is
you can't have everything. And my problem with this is I still pay for cable, but the one good thing about paying for cable is all right, that means I have HBO Go, right?
Yep.
Because that's part of my cable package and other channels, so I can DVR ESPN stuff and whatever else. So I get the CBS channel, but I don't have CBS All Access.
You don't have All Access.
That's dumb.
Mm-mm.
That's dumb.
Yeah, and that's NBC's new thing is Peacock. So if you need to get Peacock too, and it's too much. It's funny. Yeah. The Ringer did an article about all of the streaming services, and it kind of did all the stats on them, being all right, here's how many movies each one has. Here's how many TV shows each one has. Here's how many comedies each one has. Here's how many blah 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 blah. And if you really look at it, and I mean Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, HBO Max, probably it, right? If you look at all those ones, I still think Netflix is the best bang for its buck. Because at its base is only $7.99. We're
I pay, because we do the one. I think I pay $12.99 because it's
for the 4K.
You need HD or whatever, whatever that is. Plus, let at least 2 people on it at a time, that kind of thing. But I just think, even though they've gotten rid of stuff, and I was pissed about canceling Daredevil, but the combination of their shows and movies that they come out with, and then they just will randomly put other shows on, old shows that they have the rights to, and apparently they're getting Seinfeld soon. They're gonna have every episode of Seinfeld soon on goddamn Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as I like to shit on it sometimes, between the comedy specials and the documentaries, it's just better. I find myself watching that because I have HBO, I have Disney Plus, I don't have Hulu or Amazon, but I've had.
But you could package those in with Disney Plus.
I could, but I don't think I would watch them as much as Netflix. I feel like I would still end up watching that the most.
It's funny, the things that are coming out exclusively to different streaming services. It's so good. It's such a level playing field.
But you can't pay for all of it.
You can't, and that's
otherwise it's what are you doing? And I still pay for cable just because I have to for sports. You have to.
What else are you going to do? Unless ESPN comes out with something that you can watch every NBA game for you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. It would have to be every NBA game because I can't just do I got to watch the Celtics. I got to watch the Bruins. I got to watch the Red Sox. Well, the Red Sox will never play again, but the Patriots, I got to watch them.
I'm sorry, the Red Sox had a game.
Oh, the digital
today.
Sox. Thank God for the digital Sox.
Because I understand. Took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees this weekend.
That's not bad. I don't have to sneeze that.
Whatever.
That's a rivalry.
First
series.
place in the AL East. Yeah.
Come on. 2 other shows, Ryan. One is a 6-part docuseries called I'll Be Gone in the Dark, coming to HBO. We mentioned this before. We tweeted out the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
This is about the Golden State Killer, and it was what's her name? Is it Michelle McNamara? It was Patton Oswalt's wife who passed away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she was like obsessed with this and got so much information on this. And then after she passed away, I think Patton Oswalt kind of like picked it up a little bit.
Yep.
And so they're both going to be in this documentary. I'm fascinated. That comes out June 28th. And then they still say August for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There's not an exact date though, so I'm a little worried about that. But obviously that whenever it comes out, it'll be Disney Plus. I don't know. They
like shut down filming for all 3 of those shows, so I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Comics, we don't. This is sort of unfortunately, Davey and I don't follow this as closely as the other 3 things. And I'll also say this for me, for comics, and I'll speak for you too. We kind of wait until like the story's been written and get the collected edition and sit down and read the whole story, which I know a lot of you guys will get the weekly issues and do all that stuff, which is great, and support your local comic shops and all that.
Yep.
But for me, I'm definitely like, I'll find out like, oh, is that good? All right, I'll go get that whole edition.
And the problem with me, and this is going to be like a odd flex, but okay.
Fast reader.
I can read a comic book in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's
Fast
not
reader.
It's not worth it to me to like read something in 5 minutes.
No, you want the whole story.
And then wait a month for the next one.
Not
you know
here.
What I mean?
But our buddy Nick Fryer, he was telling us that the Dark Knight's death metal is coming out this month, or it's starting to come out this month, and I'm probably looking forward to that.
I'm definitely gonna read that. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna read that.
A lot of anything Scott Snyder or some of the the DC stuff, like sort of like the off the beaten path DC stuff, is always worth checking out. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, so there you go. The next 3 months, you have some stuff at least, right? I think you can hang your hat on at least a couple of video games. The Last of Us Part 2 in particular. Tenet is supposed to come out. I think a couple of these TV shows I can watch. Could be worse, right? It's not going to be like the highlight. Obviously, like the movies where it's normally like blockbuster after blockbuster after blockbuster in the summer. It's not.
I was going to say that we've been spoiled. We've been spoiled for years with that. Like this was typically for like Dork podcast. I don't know if this is like our busy season, like where we're just we don't have to come up with an episode.
Good point. You go back in the archives and it would be like movie review, like other topic, movie review, other topic, movie review. It was like nonstop movie reviews, and like those, we haven't done one of those since Birds of Prey. Or no, did we do Invisible Man? I think we did Invisible Man.
Yeah, but I watched that at home.
Yeah, but at least we did the review of it. At least
we did the review of it. Yeah.
All right, Ryan. Anything else?
No, I'm excited.
All right, let's get to the pick of the podcast here. Ryan, would you like to kick, receive, defer, or defend a goal?
I'm taking the ball.
Okay.
And I need to get something off my chest. And I teased this a little bit ahead of the podcast. My pick of the pod is Spike Lee's Da 5 Bloods.
No, it's not.
Richard, I am fascinated with this movie. I will be talking about this movie more 5 years from now than any other movie. This is that movie. I will sit down and I will make people watch if they haven't seen it. Here's why.
Okay.
I was texting with you. Well, as I was watching it, I was giving you kind of like the live tweets and where I was.
Yeah.
There were serious parts of this movie. It's all serious. There's some levity to it. There's some, not to get too much into the plot, but there's like a heist plot, but also like
war flashbacks.
Yeah, I'm fascinated with how this movie was made because the stuff when they were talking about the experience of the black soldier in Vietnam, when they were talking about that, the movie was excellent. Everything else was horrible.
Yeah,
horrible.
Love it.
There were serious parts where I was laughing out loud. I don't understand how it seems like they took the first take of everything.
Yeah, maybe they did.
You know what I mean? Like they just shot it once and like, all right, we're done. Because like there were it's amazing to me. This movie's amazing. And I need to talk to somebody about it so I know that I'm not crazy. So everybody go watch Da 5 Bloods.
You know what we could do? We could do a micro dork on it where it's all spoilers, and we can do like 10, 15, 20 minutes on it.
I need to talk about this.
I had a hard time like kind of I didn't love it. I didn't love it at all. I think it's an important story to tell, but I thought the execution was like off. Like I thought I also like, this is kind of what we do, but like if you're gonna poke holes in things, like there was a lot of things to poke holes in this.
There's a lot of things to poke holes in. There's a lot of like incontinuities, but I think it's like 93 or 92% on Rotten Tomatoes right now for critics.
Insane.
It's
all
right. It's insane.
It's insane. We'll do a short episode on it.
Yeah.
We'll do a short episode on it. So my pick of the podcast, Ryan, is a TV show that I've been dying to watch. I missed it during its first run, and it came out, I think, in 2015, and it was an NBC show. And I know people don't watch a lot of shows that are on like ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox, and I'm one of those people. All my shows are HBO and AMC and FX. Like, you don't watch shows on this. But it's been out for a little bit, and it just came back to Netflix. That would be Hannibal.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm halfway through the first season. I love it. I love it.
We're doing an episode on Hannibal then.
I love it.
We're doing an episode on Hannibal. I was because I wasn't gonna make you watch it, but I was literally gonna reach out to like Mac and Goo or Shime and be like, if any of you guys watch Hannibal, I'll do an episode on it because I've watched the first 2 seasons. I'm 2 seasons in. There's 3 seasons. I have heard, unfortunately, that like this is one of those shows that people want a 4th season. So just the way my mind races, it's like shit. Like maybe they didn't end it the way that they wanted to end it.
Yeah.
I don't know much else about it, but I've seen 2 plus. I think I watched the first episode of season 3, but I love it. And because obviously I loved the Silence of everybody loves Silence of the Lambs. Everybody does. Hannibal and Red Dragon, I liked. They weren't great though. Like they clearly weren't as good.
I liked Red Dragon more than I liked Hannibal.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And then I don't even know if I saw Hannibal Rising. I feel like I started it, but for some reason I don't remember it at all. So either I saw it and I just don't remember it, or it was a long time ago or whatever. Maybe I'll go back and watch that. But anyway, this show is great. And so Mads Mikkelsen plays Hannibal Lecter. Mm-hmm. The guy who plays Will Graham, who Ed Norton played in the movie.
Dancy. Yeah.
Doesn't he remind you of Charlie Cox in Daredevil?
He does. This guy's actually a really, really good actor. He's actually, I think he's married to Claire Danes.
Oh, is he really?
I think he is. Yeah, but he's not that matters, but like
it's just a fact.
Nice
it's a fun fact. I like him.
He's emotionally disturbed. More I don't use the C word, the crazy word, but like he's more unique than Norton played him.
Way more.
But I think it's awesome.
I think it's really good. I think it's important that he plays him this way. Also, you have there's a woman on the show who is not Sophia Bush, but she looks just like Sophia Bush.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that?
Yeah.
And then what's his name plays Jack Crawford? Why am I blanking?
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne's great as Jack Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
And so they do some cool things. So Jack Crawford's in it. Freddie Lounds is in it. They have who is it? A couple other characters. So anyway, if you're familiar with the Silence of the Lambs universe kind of thing, like because it was all books. If you're familiar with the universe, they bring a lot of characters in. Now, here's the one thing about the show is it's not like a prequel at all. Like it's not. No. This is sort of their story based on these characters. Mm-hmm. So I love a shared universe. You love a shared universe, but this isn't like, oh, this is Anthony Hopkins' Hannibal Lecter. This is a separate thing. But like once or for me anyway, once I wrapped my mind around that, I was all in.
But the other thing too is like the characters because is it Will Graham?
Yeah.
Will Graham in Red Dragon and Lecter know each other, and you know that he's the one who caught him.
I think even if you go back and watch Silence of the Lambs, I believe they reference Will Graham as the guy who caught Lecter.
But this is so the story of what I've seen of Hannibal right now is how they meet and like
Lecter is
they actually work
prison, right.
And they actually work together.
Yeah, it's a good show, and it's like as I'm watching it, it's fucking gross and it's like gory.
Yeah,
and I'm like, how was this on NBC? I'm like, I just don't.
We missed it. We
missed it. I remember like looking up stuff because we did like best of the decade, best of the years, like since we've been doing the podcast, and it's one of the shows. This and like The Americans, which I still haven't seen, are shows that you see all the time pop up for like really good shows. I'm like Hannibal, like really, like this NBC show was good.
And I vaguely remember someone telling us to watch Hannibal on social media.
We did. We definitely got like an email or we got like a tweet about it, and I'm like, oh okay. But they're right. And so all 3 seasons are on Netflix. And what's weird is when I first started watching, I was counting down the days because they said, oh, it's coming like in June.
Yep.
And I went to it and only season 1 was available. And I'm like, why wouldn't they post the other 2 seasons?
Was it like a mistake?
It must have been because the next day they uploaded the other 2.
Oh, yeah.
It must have been like a weird timing thing or whatever. But anyway, so that's my pick of the podcast. So basically, we just I don't know when we're going to do it, but we'll do it the 5 Bloods.
Ernest.
We'll do a micro dork. We'll do an Ernest dork, and we'll do a Hannibal dork.
Yep.
We got some good dorks. I have seen Grimm. CT Rebel on the chat says time to rewatch Grimm. I loved Grimm. It was definitely kind of like cheesy, like Brothers Grimm style.
Yeah.
Remember that? So this was an NBC show, and actually the guy who was the star of it, his name is like David something. He was like a Road Rules contestant. Remember back in like the Real World Road Rules days?
Really?
Yeah, he was a Road Rules guy. And then he was the star of the show. And he ended up marrying the girl that was also like a co-star on the show. But the whole point of this was like the Brothers Grimm stories were all real. But like these people, like a person could look like you, and then you could kind of like shift into like a wolf. And like that's where like the werewolf fables would come from. I liked Grimm. Grimm was good.
Yeah.
So next week on the pod, we'll figure out exactly what it is, but we got a bunch of good ideas, obviously. You guys can rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or just about anywhere else that podcasts are available. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Dork Podcast. You could check us out on YouTube. Every Monday night, we're streaming the show live, youtube.com/Dork Podcast. You could subscribe to that as well. Davey be twitching.
We be twitching, man. Regular schedule.
TV/RVonD. And of course, Wild Bill's Soda. Get yourself some Wild Bill's Soda and enter the promo code RVonD. He's our guy.
Get you some.
They got, I know root beer, they got cream soda, they got orange cream, they got black cherry, and they keep promoting these new flavors.
So diet root beer, just sugar-free diet root beer just came out. And
is
we're going to push
it coming back, or
we're going to push it. Okay. So here's what they told me. So they have all of these flavors of sodas. Obviously, I drank their ginger ale at the thing. That's where the name came from.
Right.
But they just don't can everything. So they have the soda, they just don't put it in cans for delivery. So like they're slowly like we got to get the orange cream back. The orange cream is the shit too. So we got to get some of that, but
I love it. Ryan, good stuff. Thanks for everybody for checking us out here live. And again, tell a friend, tell a dork about the podcast. And Ryan, you know what they say about wombats?
They get them square buttholes, baby.